Bears Brothers movies, and today we're gonna talk about some news that dropped last night and earlier this week. Sony announced officially, and it was officially announced by Sony that they are in development for the Venom movie, Black Cat, and the Silver Sable movie. Now, I'm not sure whether that's gonna be like the Black Cat and Silver Sable, that's gonna be a team-up movie, or if it's gonna be like two standalone movies. But the current news is that those two movies are not gonna be tied in the MCU. They're gonna be their own separate thing, standalones. As far as Venom movie goes, nothing has been said, but there's been speculation that it might be a part of MCU movies because supposedly Venom cannot exist without Spider-Man, which is utter nonsense. And so we decided to talk a little bit about it because there's a lot of talk about it, and it's something that is close to our hearts because we kind of grew up on Spider-Man animated movies. We love all the Sam Raimi movies but about Spider-Man, and Venom is a big part of it. Now, there's been talk that Venom cannot exist without the Spider-Man.
Let me say bollocks.
Pretty much.
It doesn't work that way. I mean, pure
Not
and simple,
necessarily.
Venom has a story. Depending on what direction they decide to take when they make the movie,
It can exist.
Venom
on its
doesn't
own.
need Spider-Man in order to function.
Not one bit. When it comes to Venom, I think that's not.
He's mostly viewed as a villain, Spidey villain, so in order to have a Venom in the movie, you need Spider-Man there to fight him. But Venom has different origins, different stories throughout history of comic books, and even what they did with the animated series and stuff. So there's plenty of different ways and directions they can take Venom movie in. So now Sony's doing it.
I think it's not gonna be part of MCU. It's gonna be standalone, most definitely.
Yeah, so that means guys over at Marvel probably will not influence the direction of the movie because it does not tie it into the MCU.
And it doesn't belong to them, period.
Yeah, and so Sony has open hands to see what they want to do with the movie. I think it's gonna be fun to see, and I'm really looking forward to see just basically what they do with the story, just to begin with.
Here's my take on it. I think it's probably gonna be like some sort of. I think we're gonna get origin story. Like we'll see Venom either like traveling through space as a symbiote, looking for a host, so to speak, or exploring the universe, because that's how his original origin story usually starts. And I think eventually we're gonna see him on Earth, like he'll come here and find something and stuff is gonna happen, but I'm thinking like someone like, he's not part of Sony's Marvel universe, but like someone like Thunderbolt Ross, like there's gonna be like army general or government is gonna get their hands on it.
I think it would be fun to see him in the Ultimate Universe.
That was my next point. The Ultimate Universe, where in the comic books, and which is actually a fun storyline as far as Spider-Man goes, especially if you're not a big fan of Peter Parker, like who dies, and then Miles Morales takes up the mantle and becomes Spider-Man. But in that universe, Peter Parker actually creates. I think it was Peter Parker who created him, basically in a laboratory, like. He was trying to make, I don't know, like he was doing something happened, chemicals mixed, and voila, you got the symbiote. So they can do anything. And then we have Agent Venom. Basically after, I don't know, like Spider-Man's suit got destroyed or whatever, like in a battle, piece of the symbiote was picked up by government, they developed this suit, and then they recruited Flash Thompson, who was a bully to Peter Parker. We even saw him in the first Raimi movies. He was what's his name? The guy who's supposedly playing Deathstroke in new Batman movie. He was playing Flash Thompson, but basically like they recruit Flash Thompson, who is an army veteran, who lost both his legs, and they give him a piece of they give him that Venom suit, that symbiote suit, and he can wear it like for 48 hours at a time before symbiote takes over. And in the comic book, it's a cool storyline, about 25 issues long, which ended abruptly, but they're starting his single series again as a part of the all new, all different Marvel.
Basically, since you're only general public, because they're only introduced to the Venom
Either through cartoons or through Sam Raimi movies.
and it's basically always Spidey villain. But Venom has his own story that exists separately of Spider-Man. You don't need Spider-Man. Yes, it's cool to see him in the same movie, but at the same time, Venom does not need Spider-Man in order for the movie to function
or exist.
And
even.
because there's many universes, there's many alternate Earths, they can take the story anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
They can make up their own and put it on the Earth. It really doesn't matter. It's an open book, and they can either make something original or take something that's comic based.
Listen,
but they do not need Spider-Man in order to function.
Exist. Yeah, and same has been said even for Black Cat, like she's Spider-Man's frenemy. Listen, if you grew up on animated series, Spider-Man animated series like we did in the 90s, like you could go as far and say like Black Cat cannot exist without Captain America. Like it's almost
Here's
the same
the
thing. Like she came.
Comic book universes or worlds are vast and mostly unexplored when it comes to the movies. And instead of just seeing the repetition of the same old, I think it's actually fun to get introduced to the new characters. And say, okay, here's somebody you maybe don't know that much about, but we're gonna give him a movie and introduce you to the character. And then down the line, we can do something special, something original with it. We can combine them together. So I was kind of surprised to see that all of them are getting their own solo movies. But you know what? Why not?
Yeah,
I think it's gonna turn out good. I think no matter how many people are actually mentioning it, we're not suffering from the superhero fatigue just because there's so many good movies. Yes, there's comic book base, but they're good movies, and it's a vast universe that's unexplored.
Yeah.
So I say, no matter how many new characters you can bring into it, just bring them on in.
Yeah. And
make it better than it already is.
Yeah, and as far as Silver Sable goes, like I think we've seen her a few times, like in a few games, and even in the animated series. But it's like I didn't check up on her history, but I think she's also some kind of miscreant.
But see, that's the thing. They're bringing in new characters. They're telling their own stories.
They can exist.
So yeah,
I was listening to Jeremy Johns last night on Movie Talk. He said like the Black Cat, Silver Sable movies, they're basically gonna be like, as far as people not being able, like they say, some people say people won't be understand like these characters standing on by themselves. And then Jeremy Johns, fellow YouTuber, said that you can easily compare these two movies to Catwoman, the Halle Berry movie Catwoman, which is kind of true.
I'm not sure you want to compare anything that didn't come out yet to a movie that sucked.
Yeah, but listen. As far as movie being sucky, like I never watched it, I don't intend to watch it anytime soon, but it's like people keep saying it's a bad movie, and that aside, like if you want to understand like how these movies are going to stand alone, just look at Catwoman as an example, like of an established character existing by itself. Whether the movie is gonna suck or not, that remains to be seen. You can't make a judgment call on whether a movie is gonna suck or not just because the movie was announced. Like, for people who read comics and then reading online like how those characters can exist by themselves and how this is stupid, like for people who read comic books, like I get where they're coming from, but at the same time they keep forgetting, like you get alternate versions of these characters in comic books all the time in one shape or another, even in the animated series. So Like what they did with Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon a few years ago was like they put Venom in it, Agent Venom in it. They put Flash Thompson. They had like the whole Spider-Man. Like they were called Web Warriors. It was cool to see all the Spider-Mans like of that world, like in one single like universe, and just doing stuff, traveling all around the world, even to alternate dimensions, and just doing stuff. You know, fighting villains. And there was the Goblin who came in from another dimension. That was pretty cool because he killed his own Spider-Man or something or other. It's cool. So don't make judgment calls on whether or not movie's gonna suck just because the movie has been announced. You don't know if it's gonna suck or not before you see it anyway. Like, you may think it's gonna suck, but that doesn't mean, like, doesn't make it definite, because you have nothing to base it on. No directors have been announced, no writers has been announced, no, we don't know who's producing it. We just know Sony's gonna put it into production. Because we know Venom movie has been in works for years.
But that also means that the movie,
and then Sony has
just because they said, yeah, we plan on making the movie, you still gotta find every, you know, yeah, like he said, you need a writer, you need a director, producer, but at the same time, movie can get out of production just as fast as it gets in.
It takes time.
If they're not satisfied with direction the movie is going, you're probably looking at a couple of changes, couple of different scripts that are gonna be written for the movie. And at the end of the day, if Sony doesn't like what they see, they're just not gonna make the movie. So just because something's been announced doesn't mean it's actually definite.
Definitely.
But at the same time, it's fun to see new characters. So
exactly.
no matter how many movies you can bring in that bring in new characters, I say do it. Yeah. I don't always agree with the whole, oh my god, we're doing another origin story, but at the same time, when you
and people complain about
you need an introduction to the character. Whether they do it through the origin story or whether they do something, character has been around for a couple of years and then they give you flashbacks of the origin story, it's, you know, people's opinions. But at the same time, it's fun. We want to see more new characters get their own movies.
Yeah, that we have.
And right now, Sony is doing that. Yeah. No complaints here.
Definitely. And people complain about seeing Spider-Man all over and over again, or Batman or Superman over and over again.
Yeah, but people always complain.
Oh, definitely. But it was like, and now you're getting new characters, and now you're not satisfied with that.
Then you want original material, then you get original material, then you're like, oh my god, why are we getting...
So yeah, also there's also, if they're doing a symbiote movie like Venom movie and Black Cat and Silver Sable movies, there's also a possibility, because Tom Holland as Spider-Man's character is on loan to Marvel. They don't own it. They're just using Sony's character.
Still a Sony thing.
But it's like, I also think we may see another Spider-Man too. Like, if...
Well, we gotta see what... I mean, Homecoming is probably gonna be a success just because everybody wanted Marvel to get their hands on.
Like, we may even end up seeing Miles Morales as Spider-Man, and we may get two Spider-Mans at the same time.
That'd be great.
So, that'd be cool too. So, there's a lot of things going on, and a lot of things are gonna happen. So, don't make judgment calls. Don't say this is gonna suck, this isn't good.
And keep in mind that for every project that does get announced, there's about 100 of them that never get there.
Yeah.
So it's a never-ending wheel that just keeps on spinning and churning new material. And every now and then something leaks, something breaks through, but just because something goes into production does not mean the movie is getting made.
Or that it's gonna suck, or not suck. So yeah.
We'll leave that when the movie does eventually come out.
Well, when we see the trailers.
Right now, just be happy that the movie's coming out. We're getting new characters, we're getting new movies, and the cinematic universe as it is getting bigger.
Yeah.
Which is everything we can actually ask for.
Yeah. That's it for us as far as Spider-Man. Listen to me, Spider-Man. We were just... As far as Venom, Black Cat and Silver Sable go, and as far as Sony goes for now, we'll be coming back to you soon with some Disney news. Bash Bros out.